It's surprising to me that there wasn't a podcast about dinosaurs.
Yeah, there are a couple, but they just weren't weekly, and there's just so much new news all the time. There's a new dinosaur discovered almost every week. When we started, we were worried all the time that, like, what if there's not enough news for this week? Like, are we gonna have to like fluff dinosaur pieces to fill this in?
It's never been the case.
But no, every single week it's like there's too much. Every week for the last 6 years, there's been too much news all the time. So we have to figure out what the most interesting thing is, and that's what we try to cover.
The longer we've done this, the more we've kind of fell in love with this community of dinosaur enthusiasts, because everybody is so passionate and they're so it's so great talking to them. It's always like fascinating stories about how they got there, or even like the specific things that they're working on. And then people in the community in general, even just like the enthusiasts, like everybody's just so friendly and loves to talk about it and loves to be open and sharing and give tips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, our first few episodes, when we were basically recording before like anyone had listened, or maybe like a few people had listened by like the 5th interview. And these paleontologists who were like some of the most famous, like the people that basically gave direction to Jurassic Park about like, you know, these are the kinds of things you can do. So they're like, you know, the experts of like T-Rex and stuff like that. We reached out to them and they literally didn't ask like, well, why should I come on your show? Or like, how many listeners do you have or anything? They were just like, sure.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Like, what time? Okay. How long is it going to take?
A few of them were hard to reach because they were like, one person was in Antarctica for 6 weeks doing a dig. So he's like, okay, we'll get back to you. But
yeah, sometimes scheduling, because they could be out in the field, could take a while, or they're teaching or whatever. But when they have the time, they're very generous with it. So it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been actually very easy in that respect.